As one of only 3 states that lost residents in the latest census, Illinois is losing 1 seat in Congress as well. Were it not for the Latino population, Illinois' population would have dipped even more. Amanda is back with more. Amanda.
Yeah, Brandis, the Latino population in Illinois has been growing since the 80s. It jumped from 2010 to 2019 by roughly 9%. Now, we don't know exactly what Illinois' Latino population is now. The numbers from last year's once-in-a-decade census aren't complete yet, but the rough estimation is that there are approximately 2.2 million Latinos who live in Illinois, making up, therefore, about 17% of the state's 12.6 million residents. Advocates like Roberto VALDEZ Jr. are working to make sure that translates to political power, as Illinois legislators are scurrying to draw new maps that will determine the boundaries of congressional and state legislative districts for the decade to come. Democrats have promised the maps will be fair and equitable.
And so if you really look at equity and you look at the way that districts are drawn, you divide the amounts of districts throughout the state, keeping in mind the population of the Latinos in the district, you would actually look at 45 total Latino majority districts if you just divided our population amongst the amount of districts that are available.
Now, divvying up Illinois' population into districts like that isn't quite as simple, as VALDEZ well knows. It's not as if, of course, Latinos all live in one spot, but the Latino Policy Forum is asking that in areas where Latino residents are concentrated, legislators have an eye toward drawing districts that are at least 50% Latino. When Democrats drew the last map, the one that's in effect now, they failed to do enough of that, VALDEZ says. GRISELDA VEGA Samuel with MALDEF agrees.
We absolutely think that Latinos are underrepresented, both in the legislature and at the congressional level.
She says the legislature should be reflective of the state's demographics. Political power and representation, they matter.
Really, ultimately for us is the Latino community should be able to pick the elected official of their choice. And so when you do that, you know that someone has your back. And that is specific to schools, hospitals, the roads that are in your home, right? Crime, everything, right? It impacts everything.
Amanda, if Illinois legislators do draft maps with more majority Latino districts, where could those be?
Brandis, that's actually a really interesting question for a couple of reasons. And for one, population shifts. We know that the Latino population is increasing in the suburbs. So the Latino Policy Forum says legislators should look to include areas like near O'Hare, Aurora, Elgin, and Waukegan. It is also interesting politically. One of the rubs with Illinois' process of letting legislators draw their own district boundaries is that incumbents will be tempted to protect their own seats. What might majority Latino districts mean for the districts that may now be majority Black, particularly given decreases in the Black population? It's an overriding question. VALDEZ says in the state legislature, there should be space for 20 majority Latino districts.
If the legislature draws a map and there is less than 20 Latino majority districts, 15 House, 5 Senate, then we would deem that map inequitable.
MALDEF isn't going that far, giving any sort of estimates. While the legislature is asking for groups to submit draft maps, MALDEF says that that's impossible until the census data comes in.
There has been movement and there is a shift. And so while we understand that that is what has happened, that is why we need those very specific block level data to ensure that we see where that growth has happened or where that shift has happened.
One of the legislators leading the redistricting process is State Senator OMAR AQUINO. He represents Chicago's 2nd District.
I'm sitting here today as being lucky enough to represent my neighbors in my community because of the fact that we had organizations and people like Miguel del Valle who had to sue so that Latinx members had a place in our state and had representation. And we've gone from 0 in 1980 to in 2021, we have, I think, a total of 16 members, both in the House and the Senate right now, that are part of the Latinx community.
Now, while a lot of good government groups say that an independent commission would be better suited to draw these maps than self-interested legislators, AQUINO says the General Assembly's best for the job.
And I believe that the way to get it right, to have a fair map that shows our great diversity, is making it sure that it's done in a public process. And by doing it as a legislative process, that is the most open and public process I believe that there is.
Before we go, I want to make clear none of the advocates are saying that districts drawn to include a majority of voting age Latinos should or must be represented by Latino officials. They say that is up to voters. By the way, we've really been focusing on state legislative seats in this discussion, but Brandis, as you noted earlier, Illinois is losing a seat in Congress. Right now, there's only one Illinois U.S. House district, the 4th, represented by Congressman Jesus Chuy Garcia. That is majority Latino. But Latino advocates say, per the population, there should be 2 districts. So that's another political squeeze. And you can hear from Congressman Garcia about that on this Saturday's Chicago Tonight Latino Voices. That's at 6 o'clock. And now, Brandis, back to you.
Amanda, thank you.